Lesson 31, Multiplying and Dividing Mixed Numbers. First, let's learn two methods for multiplying mixed numbers. The first method involves using an area model. Take a look at box A. Here we have the problem 32 times 21. So let's solve this using an area model. 32 can be broken up into 30 plus 2. So write it down just like this. 21 can be broken up into 20 and 1. Now let's multiply. 20 times 30 is 600. 20 times 2 is 40. 1 times 30 is 30. 1 times 2 is 2. Now let's add them all up. 600 plus 40 plus 30 plus 2 equals 672. Now let's use an area model to multiply mixed numbers. There are going to be a lot of steps involved, so let's take it one step at a time. Box B, 3 1/3 times 2 1/2. 3 1/3 can be broken up into 3 1/3. 2 1/2 can be broken up into 2 1/2. Now let's multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 1/3 is 2/3. Use scratch paper if you need to. So here was 2 times 1/3. Remember, you can divide any number by 1 and keep the same value. Let's rewrite this. 2 over 1 times 1/3. 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 2/3, the same answer that we have here. Next, we have 1/2 times 3, or 3 times 1/2. That gives us 3/2. And finally, 1/2 times 1/3 gives us 1/6. Now let's add up 6, 2/3, 3/2, and 1/6. So here we have 6 plus 2/3 plus 3/2 plus 1/6. Thirds, halves, and sixths do not have the same name, so let's use the LCM. The LCM of 3, 2, and 6 is 6. So on the next line, write down 6 plus blank over 6 plus blank over 6 plus blank over 6. How did you get from 3 to 6? We multiplied by 2. How do you get from 2 to 6? You multiplied by 3. And how did you get from 6 to 6? It's already a 6, so we're going to leave this as is. 2 times 2 is 4. Write it down. 3 times 2 is 6, and it's already there. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6, and it's already there. And 1/6, we left it as is, so just write it down. Here's the next step. Go to the next line. Write down the 6 plus, and let's add up all these fractions. Sixths plus sixths plus sixths gives us sixths. How many sixths? 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 4 more gives us 14. Now we have an improper fraction, so let's convert this to a mixed number. Go to the next line, write down 6 plus 14/6. Can we divide 14 by 6 evenly? No, so count backwards. 13 divided by 6? No. 12 divided by 6? Yes, that gives us 2. And what's left over? We have 2/6. Let's add these together. 6 plus 2 is 8, and 2/6. Remember to simplify. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Final answer, 8 and 1/3. As you may have noticed, that took a lot of work, and the reason it was so complicated is that you had improper fractions popping up in the middle of the problem. So let's learn an easier way to solve this problem by taking a look at box C. Here we have the exact same problem as in box B. 3 1/3 times 2 1/2. But let's go ahead and convert these mixed numbers to improper fractions right away at the beginning of the problem. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. So on the next line, write 10/3 times 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. That gives us 5/2. Just like we learned before, we can simplify first before multiplying. Divide by 2, divide by 2. That gives us 1 and 5 up here. 5 times 5 is 25. 3 times 1 is 3. And we have 25/3 as our answer so far. Now let's convert this improper fraction into a mixed number. Can you do 25 divided by 3 evenly? No, so count backwards. 24 divided by 3. Yes, that gives us 8. And what's left over? We have 1/3. Box your answer, and you'll notice it's the exact same answer that we got in box B, but this was a whole lot simpler. Now let's try a division problem in part 3. Here's letter F, 5 1/4 divided by 2 1/3. Let's convert to improper fractions right away. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Next line we have 21/4 divided by 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. So we have 7/3. Let's rewrite this as a multiplication problem. So we have 21/4 times, take the reciprocal, we have 3/7. And just like we did before, let's simplify first before multiplying. We can divide by 7 and divide by 7. 1 and 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 1 is 4. And we have 9/4 so far. Now let's convert this to a mixed number. Can you do 9 divided by 4 evenly? No, so count backwards. 8 divided by 4. Yes, that gives us 2. And how much left over? 1/4. Box your answer of 2 1/4.